Welcome to the Linguistics Show, where we talk about life, love, and everything else. There's always something to talk about with this couple, so you never know what may come out of their mouth.
I'm actually trying to get to that point, but guess what?
Oh, okay.
This is why you always lead it off, because I can't even get to the lead off. I'm trying to crack the jokes on the way to the lead off.
I didn't know what you were trying to do. I'm like,
baby.
I think, are we just talking and record? Okay, go ahead. I'm
Baby,
sorry.
You just gotta enjoy the ride. So now the verbiage.
Spell it.
VER. You should have seen the way that her eyebrows perked up and she triple blinked at the R. Now, we all know I don't use R unless I've had several beverages. I just threw that in there to be spicy. But anyway, verbiage.
How you spell it?
VERBIAGE. Verbiage.
Ding, ding, ding. You're a winner.
I know that.
You got that. Well, yes, you are a winner. But you spelled it correctly as well.
Well, I hope I won something good. I need a good prize this evening. But anyway, so the verbiage for the beginning of the show is welcome to another episode of the Linguistics Show. I did get my intro.
Thank you, Jason.
And I'm here with my wife, Carol, as we delve into another one of our mind-boggling, temple-scratching, they say your head-scratching topic. It's like,
Yeah, make sure.
That little emoji that be like, So, when you've known someone as long as I've known my significant other, and if we talking about a long time that I've known her.
How long have you known me?
How long is it?
I don't know what that's from.
I don't know. Why would you do that? That was so... Okay. So, it was the winter of 2000. So cold. Yes. Put your phone on silent. We had just like when you go to the movies, man, the little screen come up, be like, please respect the rest of the audience and let us enjoy the show.
When you're at
let the audience enjoy the show, ma'am. That's the dude to come through in the back. He behind you, all ignorant. He a super fan of the whatever movie. Let the audience enjoy the show, ma'am. Anyway, it was cold that whole winter. Ice on the ground. I slipped right in front of Cole Fieldhouse, embarrassed my damn self. I'm glad that only transfer student. That was the transfer student orientation that day.
I was still crazy in my dorm.
Anyway, right. Ironically, right the F in front of your stupid dorm. You know what? I never thought about that shit. You know what?
because my window faced Cole Fieldhouse. So I couldn't look right at my window.
If you just happen to be looking out your window at like 9:15 in the morning, you would have seen me slip and fall right in front of Cole Fieldhouse on the ice and slide all the way to the goddamn bus stop.
I'd have been like, "Ooh, hope he's okay." Oh well.
Oh no, this bad my hair. So anyway, as you can see, me and my wife, we have a lot of fun talking back and forth. When you've been with someone for a long time, you learn a lot of things from that person. And you know, one of the things I've learned from Carol is to have fun and to laugh more. And I feel like she's kind of learned that from me too. That's one thing that we've always had in common from the very beginning, and that's why we've always been good friends. You know, you have to be friends with your partner. You can't just get with somebody because that person makes X amount of money or that person looks so good, because those things aren't real. Those things aren't always going to last. But who the person is does last. And that's what's really important. And so while me and Carol were kicking around different subjects for the podcast, we came across this thought process because it's something that me and Carol say to ourselves all the time. You know what? I got that from you. And usually that comes across in a negative perspective.
No,
so
it's a positive
case
thing.
in point. When me and Carol first met, it just always used to seem like she couldn't find anything. I'd be like, yo, come on, we gotta go. I can't find my keys. I can't find. Yo, we gotta go. We're gonna be late for the show. We gotta go.
I start panicking.
I can't find my keys. Oh my god. Makeup running. She gotta do her makeup over again before we could even leave out the house again. Man, the movie done started 25 minutes ago. We just got in the car. Like, so I love my baby, but we used to be late all the time because baby girl couldn't find things. And so it became like an actual theme of our relationship over the years is that Carol's not going to find something.
Nope.
And she's going to ask me, hey, Jason, have you seen that? And I'll be like, yeah, it's right there on the whatever. And she'd be like, oh,
Thank
you. Or even worse, I can't find it. And I'll walk right in the room. Boom, here you go.
I was like, how'd you know that was there?
Because I looked. And I found it.
Well, I looked too, but I didn't look good enough.
So it's been established over the years, and everybody who knows Carol, and everyone who knows our family, and everyone in this house in particular knows that mommy can't find stuff. Well, guess what? As I've gotten older and I've been with this woman for so long, I can't find stuff. So when I can't find something, I'm always like, dang. Man, it's rubbing off on me, man. I'm a bad looker, too. I can't find nothing either, man. Going looking for something, can't find it. I'm a bad looker.
And I'll tell Jason that there are only 2 adults in this house. So we cannot have both parents be a bad looker. Like, we need someone to not be a bad looker. So let me be the bad looker. I have gotten better slightly, but not too much. So, like, I need you to not be the bad looker.
Right.
Say that for me.
Right. And so, in the spirit of that, and I know Carol has a bunch of other silly ones for me as well. In the spirit of that, we decided to come up with 5 different things that we've learned from each other or that we've got from each other over the years. Because it's been a long time. And you have to learn from your partner. I feel as a person, independent of what you have going on with your relationship, it's important as a person to learn every day, to try to learn something. You got to try to learn something every day. And I feel like it's important to try to learn something from your partner every day, or try to gain something from your partner, or just how they've enriched your life. So we talked about that, and we gave ourselves 5 minutes and poured some big heavy drinks and said, you know what? We're going to drink these drinks. We're going to write our list, and then we're going to do our podcast. And this is going to be fun. So I'll start off with my number 1. Because it is the biggest thing for me that's been a progression in my life from when I was younger. And now that I'm, a little bit older, in my 40s, I'm a grown man, got responsibilities. Got responsibilities, like Tommy Pickles would say. So one of the things I really learned from Carol, because early on, when I first met my wife, she used to always tell me about things that we could do, and we would try to go out and have fun and stuff like that. And weren't like either one of us came from big, rich families, middle class families. We weren't in terrible circumstances, but neither one of us
just
were rich.
regular families.
Right, we weren't rich or nothing, But my wife really taught me how to be smarter with money from early in our relationship, and it's something that's stuck with me. And as I've progressed and gotten a lot older, I've gotten so much better with it. And I don't mean smarter with money like knowing how to count. I mean just making smarter money decisions, smarter spending decisions, investments. Just she likes to call it frugality.
I am.
Now, see how technical and everything I just said being cheap? See how technical and well thought out and verbose I made being cheap sound? But that's what my wife has taught me and has rubbed it off. Yes! And has rubbed it off on me. We're talking about the dude who'll go out here and buy $500 sneakers because I've always wanted those shoes.
That was a pain point for a couple of years in our marriage.
You're talking about that person, but now I'm the dude that's like, yo, I want paper plates. I be want to do like the cheapest little things I can do all the time. I be trying to find different ways to cut corners, and it's not to take away from my life experience or anything like that, but more specifically just to be smarter with my money, because I have a family, I got stuff going on. We want to save for our future. We want to be able to do different things, have different experiences. And the way to do that is to be smarter with your money. You can't blow it all the time. And I am one of those type of people that does believe in, how would you say, living your life, enjoying your life every day, because you never know when your last day is coming. So you want to enjoy every minute. You want to live it up with your family and friends and spread love like Biggie taught us. You spread love. Like, that's what we want to do. But my wife definitely taught me how to be smarter with money, and think about investments, and think about how to have fun and spend and be happy without splurging and being silly. And so that would be, I would say, the number one thing on my list of 5 things that has rubbed off on me.
Well, I do appreciate the fact that my frugalness, at times I am cheap, because I will fully admit that I can be really cheap. At times you and the kids get super frustrated, so I've also learned
super frustrated is exaggerating it. Annoyed is even exaggerating it. You gotta make bothered is borderline where it be at. Ain't nobody annoyed or frustrated where we're mad or nothing like that. But there are times when we're like, come on, when you come on.
Okay, so it's not you who's annoyed. Actually, it's Melanie. Melanie gets super. Okay, so my sister and I, we have different perspectives on things in life. It doesn't make them right or wrong. We're just different. And so Melanie thinks I'm really, really cheap, and at times I am cheap. But I've explained to her and to the kids and to Jason as well that it's not that I am Miss Cheap Lady. It's that I place value on different things, and so I'm not totally cheap. But I'm going to go ahead to my number 1, and I will say we have not shared these lists with each other in advance. So yes, it is true that I am cheap, but it doesn't mean that I am cheap for everything. And
so I'm not trying to say you're cheap,
but I am in certain ways.
I'm cheap. I'm that dude that I like Rock Creek soda instead of Coke and Pepsi. Yeah. I'm that dude that I will get Giant brand. Some of the Giant brand food be better than the main brand
I'm all
food.
For
the grocery store brand food be cranking. Like, I don't know about Giant. Maybe your grocery stores around y'all way don't be hitting like Giant. But anyway, sorry.
And so that actually reminds me of something that one of our friends told me, and I didn't even think that it would have an influence on her, but she was watching our kids one day at the old house, and we had the glass cabinet doors for the spices and the seasonings, and so you could just see all the stuff. And so she made a comment to me when we got back home that she was surprised that we buy store brand anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, because if it tastes just as good, why not? And so that is not always being cheap. It's just valuing money differently. So
right. And
I will add, before I go to my first thing that I've learned from Jason, we have not shared these lists with each other first. So we're just hearing it at the same time that y'all are hearing it.
Here go the thing. Here go the thing. Now this woman had her list turned over on a piece of paper all the way over there, turned over like I could see it.
Mr. Good,
I had mine sitting right here on the table just because I knew she couldn't see it.
I wasn't even looking, so let me go to mine then.
She was looking at that joint.
I was not. So These are not really in order, but maybe they are subconsciously. So the first thing that I've learned from you, and it really is more than 5 things, but first thing is to try new things.
Ooh!
And so that...
Lord have mercy.
That's enough with the bell.
No, it's not.
Stop with the bell. You're going to be on bail punishment. Stop it.
I'm going to be on bail punishment.
You're going to be on bail restriction.
Bail detention.
Yeah, not bail bib de bail. But that was
now
a good one.
You know.
That was the good one.
No, it wasn't. You corny jokes.
Hey.
Yes, that's one of the things I've learned.
Well,
but that's not on my list.
Well,
but
good.
that is on my list. But it's not on my list. Like you said, I got a lot more than 5 too. But I just talked about the 5 that are important.
Trying new things.
Try new things.
And so that means, of course, getting out of my comfort zone. We already talked about this whole road trip before, so that's old news. If you missed that story, check out the last 2 podcast sessions.
How many new things are?
But there's one that is so major because I won't say the kids, but Aaliyah thinks it's hilarious and baffling, just puzzling. But I told her it's true. And so when it comes to trying new foods, I had never had a quesadilla until I met you. And so I know that sounds so random and corny and silly, but I didn't think I would like it. So I never had a guacamole till I met you. Because it was green and mushy. I didn't want to eat that. And plus, we couldn't even have certain things. Anyhow, we couldn't have.
What? Wait. No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But how many times had you had spaghetti where the sauce was...
Well, because I was not allowed to have...
Not allowed?
I was not allowed growing up to have sauce separated from noodles. I'm sorry, pause. I doubt highly that Miss Deborah is out here telling you you're not allowed to have separate sauce. That is true, because I had asked her once growing up, and the reason I asked...
This got to get edited out. Ain't no way.
It's true. This is very true, because she had this upset look on her face.
Deborah.
But I remember that I was with my dad. So one of his clients' houses, and he was still working, and it was dinner time. So I had dinner with this
spaghetti.
Well, it was lasagna, and I was kind of skeptical about that because I didn't think that black people ate spaghetti and lasagna. I didn't know that. I didn't know that black people ate lasagna till I met you. But that's another thing. But anyhow, we were having dinner at this customer's house, and it was dinner time, so I stayed to eat dinner with this family, and they had lasagna, and it was good. But this brings me back to trying new...
Because I'm going to keep laughing at myself.
What's wrong?
I'm going to keep laughing at myself if I don't say it out loud.
What?
You can edit this out. You're going to edit this out.
Jason was cracking up at the fact that I could not have my spaghetti separated, because when I went to college, and I also met Jason in college, I learned that it tastes better being sauce, your meatballs, your noodles, and you mix it yourself, opposed to the whole pre-mixed spaghetti that to me was growing up. It was really good. But
somebody just fell out their chair listening to that. Oh my God, I can't believe that baby just said that about spaghetti.
I know.
Woo!
Because I remember vividly, it's still a number one, trying new things, including food, that I asked or either suggested to my mom during either winter or summer break that we have the spaghetti, but have it separated, and then we can mix it ourselves. Right. She looked at me like I must have, I don't know if she was offended or thought I was kidding, but she basically said that we were not doing that, and so if you want to do that, you won't be eating. And so, I'm just home for my break, and so I did not eat the spaghetti. Because I was spoiled.
Because you're spoiled. See, I was about to give you credit. Because you strong and you was an activist coming home from college. Like I ain't eating that spaghetti if I don't want to eat it my way. I just won't eat. Turn it up for myself. No, because you're spoiled and you had to get your way.
No, because I was spoiled by the deliciousness of adding your own quantity of sauce to your noodles. So that is my number one. I'll toss it back to you for number two.
So learning new things. Learning new things now. If you wanted to be real, let's insert the sexy saxophone music.
Come on, Kenny G.
So there's a lot more things that you've learned. If you want to talk about trying new things. But anyway.
Yes, that can mean so many different things, and I will just let you go to number two.
I agree that learning to try new things from your partner is important. So, one of the new things that I learned from my partner, and now, Karal did mention about trying different foods and trying them different ways. I feel like there's a lot more different foods that I could mention in that list. That
they were more besides.
Oh, there's way more than just spaghetti and Mexican food. Like, come on. Let's be real. There's tons of things I exposed you to.
There's a whole lot, but those things stand out because it was during our period of dating. And they were
tons.
Those were the first couple. What's your number two?
So anyway, one of the things that my wife exposed me to. Now, it's not like she exposed me to it like it was the first time I'd ever had it, but she taught me how to do it.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Make that banging mac and cheese, right? Is that right?
So, I tend to think of myself as somewhat of a good cook.
You're a great cook.
People like my food. People do like the way I cook.
They love your lasagna.
I'm heavy-handed on the seasoning. I'm heavy-handed on the sauce. They like my food. I got that. I'm good at that. However, I didn't grow up in a household with baked mac and cheese. I didn't. I'm not proud of that, but I'm not scared to admit that I grew up in like a box mac and cheese house. A box mac and cheese house. I know. But it's okay though, because I had baked mac and cheese here and there at the cookhouse, somebody's house or whatever. Like, oh, dang. Y'all mac and cheese crazy. Like, I had mac and cheese, but y'all mac and cheese crazy. Like, yeah.
What big yummy goodness.
My auntie made this. My grandma made this. Woo. So then, eventually, been with my wife for such a long time, and even before we had been married for a long time, and there would be family get-togethers. And, I'm going to make this. I'm going to make that. I'm going to make this. Karal would be like, I make the mac and cheese. Everybody would be like, okay, cool.
Because it was so good.
Okay, cool. They'd be like, okay, cool. And so, again, remember that, I love my wife. I know what her strengths and weaknesses are. And I'm a good cook. So I think of myself as a good cook. And so I know that my wife, I know what she's good at cooking. Now this is, early in our relationship, but I know what she was good at cooking and what she wasn't back then. And so I didn't know nothing about no mac and cheese at the time. And so when she said, we're gonna make the mac and cheese, I was like, say what now? Okay. For the whole Thanksgiving dinner.
So were you skeptical, or were you
skeptical? Wasn't
leery,
skeptical skeptical is accurate. I was a bit concerned because, again, early in our relationship, we didn't cook that much. We had that apartment, we didn't cook that often. You know what I mean? I didn't know. And so baby girl and me went to the Safeway in Silver Spring. We went to our little local ass ghetto ass Safeway in Silver Spring.
Was that the one on New Hampshire Avenue?
No, not the one in New Hampshire Avenue. We went to the one in Silver Spring, like near Silver Spring Station, when we were living in Tacoma Park. That wasn't on New Hampshire Avenue, babe.
There was a Safeway in Silver Spring on New Hampshire Avenue.
Well, I'm aware of that. What I'm saying is that's not where we went to go to Safeway. The two places we went to the grocery store were College Park, over there off University Boulevard, and then the Safeway that was walking distance from my old apartment in downtown Silver Spring, because that was close.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, she took me to the store. We went and got a quart of milk. We didn't drink milk like that. But we went and got a quart of milk.
You're giving all the ingredients, the rundown?
I was like, milk. Okay, milk. Okay. We went and got some noodles. Okay, elbow noodles, right? We get mac and cheese. I go for like the box mac. No, Jason.
Smack that out your hand.
No.
The audacity.
I'm like, oh.
She
nerve. Said, what was you thinking? No. Just get basic elbows. Okay.
I'm not getting no crap elbows. Mac and cheese.
We walk over to like I said, we got the milk. We go to the cheese. We get 1, not 2. 3 different bags of different kinds of good shredded cheese.
Because you got to mix it up, baby.
So
as you have learned.
Okay. Now, granted, again, I already know how to cook, so I had a lot of seasoning in the house. All the seasonings you needed, right? So we get home, and I watch my baby do this, and I'm like, that's interesting.
That's what you thought.
I didn't know that. That's what. Okay. And she put it in the oven, and when it came out, golden, delicious goodness, greatness, mac and cheese. My baby taught me how to bake mac and cheese, and as someone who takes pride in how they cook and how they prepare meals and presentation of the dish, plating, the whole 9 yards, like I take that stuff seriously. Anything that I serve someone with. And that's one of the things, it might sound funny, but I definitely would say teaching me how to bake mac and cheese the right way is one of the most important things you've ever taught me, because there's no exact measurements.
Right.
There's no science to that shit. You gotta just look at it and understand what you're doing. Think about how many people you're feeding. And just feel it, and it comes out right when you do it like that, and that's dope. That's something I definitely learned from my baby. So there you go, mac and cheese.
I appreciate that, and I just want to just let you know where I actually got that inspiration from, and it was actually from Uncle Norwood. Because he was an amazing cook, and just like you're an amazing cook, so was he. And so I learned that from him about how to make banging macaroni. So I know he's no longer with us, but that's one of the things that will always stick with me about him. So my number 2, and again, this is in no particular order, but maybe it is. Who knows?
It ain't in no particular order, but it's my number 2.
Yes.
Anyways.
So don't be so uptight and on the quote-unquote accomplish the mission mode. You call it work mode, but it's not like I'm in work mode. I'm in trying to get things accomplished mode. And so you've taught me to relax and to not, even though we talked about that this morning, that's like my top 10 least favorite word is relax.
Relax.
So,
we doing relax is like cursing somebody out in this house. I live in a
least favorite word.
Friends and family, kinfolk, all of y'all. Look, I live in a house with 4 women, 4 beautiful black women. 3 of them are going through things once a month, and I need y'all help. You
have Ashley. She's on your side for now.
She has an attitude already, and so just imagine
she has to defend herself against those sisters.
She's just mad because look, I need y'all help anyway. So yes.
So like I was saying, I said one of your phrases. Okay, this was not on my list or his list either, but we have been saying each other's phrases because it's just so subconscious. It's embedded in our brains. And so I just said one of the phrases that I get on Jason about saying, like I was saying, like I said.
You know what? I wouldn't have to keep saying that stuff if y'all would just listen when I said it. Like, y'all don't listen, y'all. Like, I be dropping dimes. I be dropping real gems, bars out here, knowledge. And y'all just, I always say it like this, man. Y'all gotta listen faster, man. Y'all gotta listen faster, man. I say it like Terrence Howard. Y'all gotta listen faster, man. You gotta listen to this, man. I'm telling y'all something, man. Not telling you nothing, man. We talking about something, man. You gotta listen a little bit faster, but go ahead.
Okay, so what's your number 3?
So, really, I just talked about mac and cheese. It's your turn.
I already said my number 2.
What was your number 2?
That was not to be so uptight.
You see how we just glossed over that and changed the subject so quick? Because look,
you can add on to it if you want, but I know that I am really business minded, and at times it was doing too much. It was not like I'm trying to be on work mode. I'm trying to be on we got to get this accomplished mode so we can move towards the future.
Well, so one of the things that, ironically, as Karal mentioned, her second thing that she kind of learned from me, which is to, chill and try to embrace the moment
and
here
relax
and savor your time. Our time on this planet is limited. We know this, and I've always kind of tried to impress upon people that I deal with in any capacity to really savor their time, to appreciate the time we have, and to make sure that you're as productive as you can be during said time. So I do appreciate that you said that, because I know that can be kind of jarring, because it's almost duplicitous, because it's almost duplicitous, because I'm telling you simultaneously, I'm telling you, young, you gotta chill the hell out. You gotta chill out. Start working so hard. You gotta enjoy your time. You gotta have some fun. You gotta kick back a little bit. You gotta calm down. You gotta relax. You gotta let life happen. But then I'm also like, young, we gotta be as productive as possible. We gotta keep going. We gotta wake up early. We gotta stay up late. We gotta get all this stuff done. And I know that can come across as duplicitous, but it's because I just really believe in the value of time. And so, speaking of time, one of the things that I really could say that I learned a lot from Karal would be how to plan for the future. Not just in the long term, but the short term as well. Now, I had always prided myself on being a very spontaneous boyfriend, very spontaneous husband, the type of person that I'd be like, yo, I'm picking you up from work, we're going out, and have an idea of where we're going, and we're going to go do this, and we're going to go do that. And we had fun when we were dating.
Times when you would get me, I'm like, oh, you're outside? Okay.
Yeah, I'd be like literally right outside the building. My car is gassed up. We're going to this. And we go have fun and go do that. And so, another topic for another episode of the Linguistics Show, don't ever stop dating. Don't do it. If you all stop dating, then, yeah, just don't ever stop dating. Anyway, so yeah, just planning for my future more. And so, yes, you can still have it both ways. Now, again, I don't want to sound duplicitous, but you can have it both ways, yo. You can live your life to the fullest every day. Enjoy your moments. Feel good. Laugh. Love. You know what I mean? Eat good. Whatever it is that you indulge in, you can do that every day, but still plan for your future. You can still plan for your short-term and your long-term future. And what do I mean by that? It's like planning for your short-term future. Just think about what you do on a daily basis. You can stage that stuff out so that your daily interactions with life aren't so complicated. You can meal prep, so you're not out here thinking about what am I going to eat for lunch today. You just go grab the next little box out the fridge. That's something my wife taught me. You can plan out your time better, because I'm one of those people that I wake up early, even without my alarm clock. All my days off, I wake up early. I'm one of them people, I stay up stupid late because I feel like that's the only time I can watch the shows I want to watch or play Xbox or whatever. You know what I mean? Work out with no distractions. That's who I am. I've always been a stay up late person. Even when we were younger and going out all the time, I was that dude. Like 3, 4 in the morning, we left from the club. I'm like, all right, we're going to IHOP.
I'm like, oh, we gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, we gotta go to IHOP before we go anywhere else. Then after we leave from IHOP, then we go to the next location. Anyway, the point is that planning for my future, thinking about my retirement funds, thinking about life insurance, thinking about investments, thinking about short-term things, thinking about planning out what I'm going to do on a daily basis so that my day goes smoother and it's just less stressful. And even though I'm a spontaneous person and I tend to thrive under crazy circumstances, when you plan for your day and everything goes smoothly, it's almost as if your day didn't even happen. It go by so fast and smooth. And so that's one thing I definitely could say, both personally and professionally, that I learned from Karal is I don't have to be out here with an entire itinerary from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. However, if I come up with a couple certain things I got to knock off my list today and it's structured, I feel like I'm so much more productive. And I love being productive and using my time wisely. Like I said, time being the most precious resource we have. You can waste it, you can't get it back.
Yeah, that's very important. And like that, I think we've learned a little bit from each other on that same topic of using your time wisely, because I do have it on my list as well. But you didn't know that. Well,
I bet I didn't know that because you had your paper turned over like I was cheating on the test or something.
You probably would have just known that anyway, because because I do try to be on time. It does not always work, but I have good intentions, which don't mean anything.
Good intentions.
So my number 3 would be not being afraid of things not going as planned.
Woo!
And so that does not mean that I have to have things my way and that I get upset like when things don't work out sometimes. But in the greater scheme of things, if your plans shift or if you're having to pivot for whatever reason, it doesn't mean...
Gotta be able to pivot. Oh, that's my...
That sharp turn.
Oh my God, I use that every day at work. You gotta be able to pivot. You gotta be able to just see when something happens. You gotta be able to, okay, and just react and let's do the next thing or just change what we're doing now. You can't just let whatever... I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but this is one of my favorite things in the world, in life. Not just in life, but in my work life, my personal life. I'm sorry. That's why
You're so passionate.
I am passionate about this because it's like, it's something that I've learned in life a lot because I don't let on to it, but I've been through a lot of tumultuous and really traumatic stuff. And I learned resiliency from that. You got to be able to pivot. Even if you don't necessarily have a plan, because I didn't always have a plan, because I didn't always have a Karal.
Oh, thanks. From the dorm with the rocks on the window.
Oh my gosh. I didn't always have someone who instilled in me the importance of having a plan, And so when I didn't have a plan, I had resiliency. I learned resiliency, learned that you got to be able to pivot when something happens. That's why I'm so passionate about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump the gun, and I'm going to go back to you so you can explain your point. But it's just like that. It makes me so happy that that's something that you would say that's important that you've learned from me, because I feel like every single day, like we literally just had a 30-minute conversation about me pivoting on a major life decision that was so important to me, and I accomplished it, and it was such a big deal to me and still is, and it's such a point of pride for me, and I'm about to pivot because it's something that's important for me in my future, and that's what I'm talking about right there. So I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's dope. Oh man, I had to go pour another drink on that one.
In a lot of ways. And so I'm about to toss it to you for number 4, but I will say that like not being afraid of things going as planned, and to further extend that, it doesn't mean that your outcome is going to be different. So like I used to equate things not going as planned to the possibility of the outcome being different, and then me not being satisfied with what happened, whether it's things for me personally, as a couple, as a family, whatever. But I learned from you that just because things may take a different course, the outcome can be the same or even better. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is, and now I feel like we're gonna be on this whole simpatico thing, and she's gonna be talking about wearing matching clothes again.
Because we do it, because we're so in sync. We don't even think about it at times. I'm like, how'd you know I wanted that shirt? You want the same shirt?
Because we were both going to Aaliyah track meet. What you talking about?
I'm not talking about that time.
We both had on North Point track and field t-shirts.
We had options of black, white, or gray.
I don't have something like that. My black North Point t-shirt hadn't come in yet, so when it
it wasn't. It was like white, gray, something like that, or red.
So next season, I'll be wearing my black little Eagle stuff. So anyway, the ironic thing about what you just said, when you pivot, is that when stuff happens, you can't necessarily dwell on it because you waste a lot of time and energy spinning your wheels instead of coming up with a solution, instead of moving forward and trying to do what's best next. You're worried about what's happening now, and once what's happening now has already happened, there's no point in really even thinking about it anymore. You got to start thinking about the next thing, and a lot of that has to do with my career. Is just every single day is really, I'm thinking about what's going on next week and what's going on next month. I'm not even really living today. I'm here today and reacting to what's happening, but I'm living a month from now at work. That's just how the whole planning and indices and things like that work. Is just, you're always ahead of schedule. But anyway, when it comes to pivoting, the thing that really I learned from it, and it came from you, it came from work, but it came from work, and I'm glad that it meant something to you and you learned it from me, because I had to learn it as well. And I feel like that is a evolution of the next thing that I really learned from you, because I learned this from you early in our relationship. When Karal first met me, I was going through some hard times, so to speak. I was going through some things. Personally, with my family life, with my job life, with school, everything. Like, I had gone through major life changes within the span of 36 months. I had moved 3 or 4 times. I had, was going to this school, going to that school, living on campus, living off campus, playing sports, not playing sports, working a full-time job, going to school full-time. I was just doing everything. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing at the same damn time. And so when I first met Karal, I didn't necessarily have the right outlook on everything in life, because I had felt like I had been dealt a pretty bad hand. And, what she taught me was to find the positive in everything that happens, in everything that you do every day. And to this day, I've had employees of mine come to me and tell me this. I've had my superiors tell me this. I've had people that I've dealt with years ago, find me on Facebook or find me, if we bump into each other in the streets, and just tell me how the way that I would always spin everything in a positive way when they interacted with me helped them to get through whatever they were going through. And that I learned that from you. Because I was in a time when I first met you, I was in a time where I wasn't doing the right thing. I was making a lot of bad decisions because I was going through a lot of bad stuff, and I felt like the only way to get through it was to just go harder. I felt like, well, I can't let this beat me. I gotta go harder now. Well, now I have another problem. Well, I can't let that problem beat me. I got to go harder now. Oh, and I got another problem. Well, it eventually put me in a hospital.
Yeah, that was very
And I
scary.
had my appendix burst. Now, everybody has an appendix, and it don't burst for everybody. They generally say that happens with stress. And I was stressed out something crazy. I was working full-time, going to school full-time, trying to figure out everything on my own, from scratch. And What Carol taught me was to look at everything from a positive perspective instead of looking at things from a negative perspective and allowing your circumstances to dictate your future.
Yeah, I strongly believe that.
And instead of allowing myself to believe that, oh, because I was I went through a rough patch for a few years where my, prospects were looking hopeless, and it was looking like I was going to have to resort to doing the wrong things full time and that be who I am. Carol taught me to really find the positive in everything that happens every day. Every little things, big things, important things, not important things. Like, there's a reason why stuff happens. And if you find the positive in it, then you can move on to the next thing. You can accomplish whatever you really want to accomplish if you don't believe that the world is out to beat you. Now, of course, I do believe that the world is. I don't think the world's out to get me. I think the world's out to get a lot of us, if you want me to keep it 100 with y'all. But I did definitely go from being one of those people that felt like I was trapped and I was in a situation where I was gonna have to start really doing the wrong thing, to where I realized that, by looking at things from a positive perspective, by looking at those shortfalls being, a way to get to a major windfall, like, by looking at it from that perspective, I was able to accomplish so much more in my life. I mean, like, if I were to look at myself 20 years ago and look at myself now, not even 20 years ago, like, I would say even 15 years ago, and look at us now, I'd be like amazed. I would be amazed. I would be amazed if I looked at myself 30 years ago and looked at myself now. I wouldn't even believe that this is where we are. This is what I am and what I'm doing. And I owe all that to the power of positive thought, of not giving up when stuff gets hard, when not quitting just because it's, feels insurmountable. There's always a way to figure it out. There's always a positive. There's always something to build on to go to the next thing. And I definitely could say that I owe that to you.
Oh, thanks. I have been a positive, upbeat person for as long as I can remember. And at times people would tell me that I am too optimistic or I'm too cheerful. And so something that I have on my list that was not in my top 5, but it's on my list that I wrote down that you can now see, because I'm holding it up for you.
I'm not even looking
Mr.
at your
Good
list.
Eyesight. So it's not in my top 5, but I did write as like a bonus to that I've learned from you to be more realistic while still being positive and optimistic. And so I've learned just to understand that that life may not always go the way I want it to go, but that doesn't mean that you can't still be positive. So that's not actually on my official list, but it's on my list though. So my number 4 that I've learned from you, is that it's okay, and I use okay in capital O, capital K, underline, bold, italic. It's okay to make a mistake.
Really though? Really? Are you sure it's okay? Are you sure? Are you now? So what you're? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Are you saying that it's okay to make a mistake, or are you saying that it's okay for someone to say that you made a mistake? That's a different subject for a different matter.
It was both to me.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm referring to me. So whether it's me making a mistake or someone pointing out a mistake, but to me they're kind of on. Not the same, but they're aligned, and so it's okay to make a mistake because I've learned that from you because I still stay kind. Well, I still do have this desire to get things right on the first try, but I've learned a whole lot that it's okay to make a mistake as long as you're trying. Because growing up, I wanted to be the best at everything that I was doing, and I did not like getting anything wrong. I didn't like making a mistake. I didn't like the feeling or knowing that I was trying so hard, but to me making a mistake was failing. And so I learned from you that mistake, if you're trying hard, does not mean that you have failed or are a failure. And so I still think about that time. It's like, oh, I did this wrong and I must be a failure. But you encourage me and say, you know, you're not a failure at so and so. You are trying your best. And I say, I know I am, but I still feel like I could have done better. And so I've learned that from you, that mistakes are okay, and that goes for making them or for having someone point them out to you.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, it's all just a learning experience. Like what I had said earlier, that like learning is important. Trying to find ways to enrich your experience every day is important. And yeah, I would say that, like, I'm not saying making mistakes is what you want to do. Just go out here and make mistakes. But what I'm saying is that it's okay. Like, you shouldn't kill yourself because you messed up something. Like, you learn, and now the next time you won't mess it up.
That's a big one that for me at work, even though I'm not at my job that pays me, as you use that phrase sometimes, the job that pays you.
No, the phrase I use is mind the business that pays you. You're at the job that pays you. It just so happens to be at home, which is teleworking.
Value. Well, this right now, not teleworking, but being a wife and mom pays me with intrinsic value. But anyhow, like when it comes to work, I've learned a whole lot about that making a mistake is okay, because I know that I do try my best, and I learned a lot from you because you are a manager and you've had several employees at your current job and previous jobs, and I'll get there one day, someone hire me. It's like, I'm kidding. I do have a job, but
oh god, oh my gosh.
But I've learned they know that when I make a mistake at work, even though I'm trying hard and someone points it out to me, doesn't mean that I'm a bad employee. And so I do want to put that out there for anyone listening, know that if you mess up, and as long as you're trying hard and are trying to correct your mistake or learn from it, that's the most valuable lesson. So don't feel bad about yourself. Don't be down on yourself. Just use it as a life lesson. And so I use that more so at work, but at the house, I've learned that it's okay to mess up, because it's hard being a mom. It's hard being a dad too, I know.
Oh, it's hard being any kind of parent, whether it's a mom,
You're
dad,
right.
whatever.
It's
difficult. And I don't say that lightly. Like, it is a challenge. And so,
So that brings us to even number 5.
Yeah, I do have a number 5.
What? You're talking about zodiac? We don't know about zodiac signs in astrology.
Oh my god, or astronomy or astrology. or economy or any of that.
That doesn't even have an A.
It doesn't matter, it rhymes.
No, it doesn't. That's fine.
He said no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
You're so petty.
Because it doesn't.
Oh my god, stop talking. The reason I was talking about astrology is that they say that Tauruses are the type of people who are materialistic.
Oh, I didn't know that was one of those traits. I never knew.
Well,
or
I would definitely say
possible
that,
traits.
and I'm smart enough and have taken enough classes in various subjects to know that part of my bout with materialism that I feel as though I've pretty much outgrown to a certain extent. I know I have trouble with it from time to time still, but I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be. I used to be on par with I used to be on par with Andre Johnson off Blackish as far as my materialism.
He is not lying.
And so, like, I'm not like that.
On.
I'm not like that anymore. I'm really not. And obviously, yes, my wife taught me to be smarter with money. But what I'm saying is, it's not just about being smarter with money, because that was more about, being into investments and being smarter about how you spend and not necessarily what you spend on. Because even if you're budgeting correctly, you could still be hella materialistic if that's what you just decide to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? That don't mean you being smart with your money. That just that don't mean you're being smart or not being smart with your money. You can be very smart with your money and still be materialistic.
You're right.
What my wife taught me is that all that materialism stuff, all of that is something that has been put on us for generations to make us go the wrong path as a culture. And so I've learned that all that materialism stuff is nowhere near as important as experiences. Real quick story. I lived in Florida for a short period of time. My parents, our whole home situation in Maryland got thrown up in the air early in mine and Carol's relationship. Very, very early in our relationship, in the foundational stages. And I ended up moving to Florida for a little while. And while I was down in Florida, we lived in St. Lucie County. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with South Central Florida or whatever, but I'm the type of brother that I love my car. I had to have a car. My old school caddy broke down on me when I got there. I ended up trading it in on that Grand Marquis we was talking about. And the first thing I did after trading in that, well, not the first thing. I'm not going to tell you what the first thing I did because it might not be legal in your state. But the first thing I did after I got my Grand Marquis was I picked up my brother from school. He was in high school. He was in high school. I'm talking about we literally just put paper plates on this goddamn Grand Marquis. First thing I did was picked up my brother from school and we drove to Miami. We hadn't been in South Florida for 14 days yet. And the first thing I did was pick this brother up from school and say, "Young, we're going to Miami." Why? Because we can. Because we're free. We can do that. And we live in Florida now. Woo! We don't live in the DMV no more where all we know is red line, beltway. That's all we know. Green line, that's all we know. Red line, green line, beltway. That's literally all we did. Q2 and the Y and that damn, oh man, that 70 bus.
Yes, those Metro bus
that damn
numbers.
70 bus. That's all we knew. And so what I learned when I got down there, I had a job. I worked at a call center. I had a pretty cool job down there when I lived in Florida. I was kind of a baller down there based on the cost of living. But anyway, there were lots of people who grew up an hour from Disney World, an hour from Orlando, an hour and a half from Daytona, 2 hours from Tampa, from the western shore of Florida, 2.5 hours from Miami that had never been to any of those places. And I don't want to say it like they're inaccessible, because the first thing you learn when you come from somewhere else to Florida is, oh yeah, you can get a car. Mm-hmm. There are no rules for registrations. There's no inspections. They don't even give a hell about your license. You can give them an expired license. Somebody I know that I work with tells me all the time about how they never even had a driver's license test or none of that. They accidentally gave this person a driver's license instead of a state ID, and that shit held for years.
They just ran with it. They didn't.
Years until he moved to another state. Did it ever matter? That's Florida. When I first moved to Florida, I came down that jaunt with my 79 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that I had got a bootleg inspection on in the state of Maryland before I even came to Florida. When I came to Florida, the DMV was a storefront. I walked in there with my Maryland license, put it through the window. She just printed me a Florida jaunt with the same picture, and then just gave me plates for my caddy, sight unseen, no inspection.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Here you go.
The money, here you go.
Like, you got the money, you got the money, you got insurance, here you go. I'm like, what? All right, I'm out. And that's Florida for you. So basically what I'm saying is that I learned from Carol that all that materialism stuff is nowhere near as important as these experiences, because so many people I met had never been to the places that are right around the corner from them. And I got to thinking, like, living in the DMV, I had been to Baltimore multiple times. I've been to Ocean City before. I had been to Philly before. I had been to Richmond and Virginia Beach. I had been to New York. I had been to these various places all over the mid-Atlantic and I guess the East Coast to a certain extent. I'd been to Florida a few times at that point. You know what I mean? I'd been to North Carolina. Like,
okay.
What I'm getting at, I wasn't someone who traveled a lot. My family didn't travel a lot, but we've been up and down the East Coast. And so it made me wonder, it's like, yo, why did y'all never been anywhere? And it's like, it's based on, you have to value your experiences more than your stuff. You're not going to remember your stuff. This is coming from someone who is an avid sneaker collector, a sneakerhead. I wear all my shoes, and people be like, Young, why did you wear those? They're worth so much money on the resale market. Because, bro, if I don't wear them Jones, they're going to fall apart. And then what? Then them Jones are just a pile of freaking dust. And I'm not saying it's going to fall apart in 20 years. I'm talking about it's going to fall apart in less than 5. You have to go wear your kicks, by the way, fellas and ladies. Go wear your kicks. That's just a blessing from Captain Fly Kicks, just so you know. Go wear your sneakers. Anyway, what I'm saying is, experiences are more important than the stuff. You're not going to remember your stuff. You're going to remember those experiences. Carol taught me that. Carol taught me it was more important to save up my bread to go on a fun trip than it was to save up my bread so I could have the latest outfit or some rims on my truck or the next this or the next that. It wasn't about keeping up with the Joneses. It was about living your best life. Mm-hmm. And I hate to throw 2 cliches into the same sentence, but that's really what it's about. It's not about keeping up with appearances. It's about doing you and living your best life. And that's the most important thing that my wife taught me from the beginning of our relationship and still every single day. And we reinforce this same topic almost every single day because we know how I feel about time and we know how my wife feels about experiences. And those two complementary things are one of the most important aspects of our relationship that always gets us back to, we always just fall into this, okay, we're talking about the same shit vibe all the time. No matter what we're talking about, what we're going through, it's always the same thing because I'm always so worried about maximizing my time and my wife is always so worried about maximizing our experiences. And quite frankly, that's the most important thing I think that you've taught me out of all of this is to realize that no matter how much stuff, and there's a reason why I'm so into stuff, and we'll talk about this on another episode that my wife and I, it's a really important one to us, so we haven't put it out yet because it's taken a lot of planning and thought because it's going to be deep about insecurities. Mm-hmm. It's going to be deep, but there's a reason why I was always so materialistic. I had to have this and had to have that. I had to look a certain kind of way. I had to go get a haircut, or back then I had to have my fresh cornrows like every 8 days. I had to have new cornrows. I had to have my hair braided. I had to have all this stuff. It's because I was insecure. And I didn't realize that having these experiences that I can go back on and having these memories that I can say, yo, but I did this, instead of saying, well, I had this or I have that, right, which next year, next month, next week might not even be popular or worth your money anymore. That experience is going to last forever. That memory is going to last forever. And then once you're a parent, that memory lasts generations.
And you're right about that as far as the experiences lasting. And we definitely teach our girls by example, that experiences are great. So whether it was the road trip and us semi-climbing Stone Mountain or trying to, or if it's us.
We rode the little lift elevator jump.
Semi.
To be fair, climbing that jump probably would have been less stressful than riding that little lift elevator gondola thing fizzle that y'all got at Stone Mountain. Hey, yo, don't go to Stone Mountain on a windy day, period. Period, point blank. I don't got nothing else to say about that.
But as you were saying, with the experiences and just making sure that we value them, that's something that has always been important to me since I've known you and before I've met you, in experiences. And so we have done a good job, I think, in just instilling that in our daughters. You know, that experiences are great. Mm-hmm. And they can be small, they can be big. They don't have to cost a whole lot of money. They can be free.
We're not no globetrotters or anything, but we've had some fun trips. And that's because my wife, again, reinforced the importance of experiences to me. And like Karal had said, I'm just going to throw this little tidbit in here before we talk about her last.
You got a tidbit?
Before we talk about her last thing. But you had mentioned about our girls and expound, you know, making sure that they understand the importance of the experiences as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I always say to my friends, because I have a friend with daughters, I say the same thing to him. I say the same thing to him, and I say the same thing to my other friend who has one daughter. It's like, yo, you don't want your daughter to have some little dude talking about how I'm taking her to the beach or how I'm taking her to Miami. Like, you want to show your kids what stuff is and show them experiences while they're at their foundational ages so that they can understand and appreciate what the world is. The world is so much bigger than your hood, your block, your city, your state, your East Coast, West Coast, down south, whatever. It is so much bigger than that. And travel is so important, especially for us culturally, but for people in general, just to have that fresh perspective. And so it is so important to me that we make sure that it is important to our kids to value experiences as well. And so that's one of the other reasons why I value experiences as a father of daughters. That none of y'all sons better come around here talking about I'm bringing your daughter to spring break in Miami, because she's going to carry that little Bama. And she's going to be like, yeah, I've been to Miami 4 times already, sir. You're going to have a passport to come holler at me. Ding. On the little bell. Anyway. That's experiences. That whole damn conversation was an experience.
Okay, so my 5th one, which I learned from you, but I didn't fully I didn't fully embrace until much later, and that was not to hold a grudge.
Oh, shit. Say what?
I know, I've learned from you, my dear Jason,
wow,
not to hold a grudge. Now, I learned that from you early on in our marriage and us being together and dating, but I separated what I had learned from my actual actions. And so it wasn't until we had Ashley that I fully embraced the whole don't hold a grudge that I had learned from you early on, because that opened up my eyes a whole lot. And so I don't think I've told you that, or maybe I have, I don't know. But if I haven't told you that before, now you know. I learned from you. If you don't.
Jeez. Boom. Experiences. That's another one for the record books right there. Go ahead.
And so I've learned from you the importance of not holding a grudge.
You can't waste that time and energy, man.
I do not hold grudges, and so it's thanks to you that I actually learned that. But then with experience of Ashley's birth, that was a life changer for us in different ways, which I think is worth an episode. I don't know when.
No, I think it's
very emotional.
Yeah, but I think that all 3 of our girls are gonna deserve one at some point, because they're all so different and important to us individually with their story as it pertains to our lives, and also their difference amongst themselves and how they are individually as women. And so I believe all three of them are going to need their own episode. But yes, the Ashley story, for those of us who have known us for a long time and know about what happened with Ashley, the story is something else. And you're right. And that's how you have a teaser for a later episode.
And
is to just see how I gave you all that detail, and it sounded like I was really about to go into it. And then I just said, guess what? It's coming on another episode. And now I'm going to have to go find my wife some tissues.
Because that and this is not about the grudge, but just for those listening, having a child is life-changing. And so as far as the ability to share that I think it is worth sharing, because someone actually may learn and benefit from our experience. They may learn, they know that sometimes your race and skin color does not get you the best health care. And for us, no, that was not the problem. But I did hear of a story a few years after Ashley's birth that was the same thing pretty much as what happened to us, but the difference in our zip codes and maybe our income made a huge difference in why this woman's child is dead and ours is not. So I think it is worth an episode eventually when we are ready. I don't know what it's going to be for that episode.
No, I agree. The story of Ashley is something else, and every day she just amazes us with her positive vibes and her strength and her presence. Like, she's been here before. She really has been here before. So yeah, I appreciate that, because that was something that I had to learn, because I was, again, one of those people that life had kind of hardened me when I wasn't always a hard person. I was always kind and considerate, compassionate, smart. Realized that the way to solve problems was to talk through them and find solutions instead of beating my way through problems and fighting my way through everything. But life took a turn on me, and I had enough trials and tribulations that did kind of force me into a mindset and a thought process of negativity, where I did feel like I had to fight through everything, and I might not have been doing things the right way, and I might have been cutting corners in here and there in life. The thought process of not holding grudges is what allowed me to kind of come out of that.
I agree.
Because it was the holding grudges that made me feel like I had to do that, instead of realizing that I don't even need to acknowledge the people that made me feel as though I had a grudge against them. That, again, people are learning experiences. Things that happen to you are learning experiences, and you have to value them, whether they be positive or negative, because you're going to learn something from them. And that right there, I didn't necessarily have my whole life. I didn't even have that going into our relationship. I held grudges against you. I held grudges against lots of people. I was definitely the type of person that I had a hard time with that. And I learned myself just through experience that for my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, whatever, and the health of everyone around me, my friends and family, whatever, that you can't live that way. You can't live that way. You can't go through life thinking that it has to be fair. If it's not fair, then, oh my gosh, like I have to, and then every little microaggression and every little bad thing that happens to you is the end of the world. And it's like, nah, you can't live like that. You've got to be able to, like what we talked about earlier, you got to be able to pivot.
Yeah.
You got to be able to just, when something that you might not like happens, you've got to be able to think of a plan to come up with a way out of it and move on to the next thing. So I really appreciate you saying that, because it was hard for me to get to that point where I'm as forgiving of a person. And ironically, that was my first number 5 was forgiveness. And then I crossed that off because I thought to myself, that's something that I already talked about in one of my other ones. Right. And then I had wrote New Day, where I do kind of approach every day I wake up like it's a new day. I don't hold grudges. And again, I could kind of cross that out because I'm talking about the same thing. But again, that is how I look at life. It took me a while to get there. It took me a while to get there. It really did. To the point where you wake up every morning and you realize today is a new opportunity to be great. It's a new opportunity to accomplish anything. And if you're holding grudges, if you're thinking about how you've been wronged or whatever it is that you don't like about your experience that happened before, you can't move forward. You can't move forward because you're still using energy thinking about what's behind you. And when you're thinking about what's behind you and you're focused on what's behind you and you're focused on what's in the past, it's already past. When you're focused on the past, you can't move forward. You can't. There's no forward momentum. It's like dragging an anchor. It's like driving with your emergency brake on. It's like you can't progress until you learn to move forward from the little things or the big things.
You're right.
So I appreciate you saying that, because that was a big time moment of growth for me years ago. And to know that we kind of had that experience together is important. That's cool. That's a big deal. And that's part of this whole thing that we're doing. This is not just a script. This is definitely not a scripted thing. This is not just something that we down here just playing with. Like you're experiencing us talking to each other too. And so, yeah. That's part of this whole thing. And so I really do hope you enjoy, the little things that, like Wifey said earlier, the tidbits. You made fun of me saying tidbits. I just said it like nobody would have even thought nothing of it had you not said it.
Because when you said tidbits, I was thinking of the tidbits cans of pineapples. Because it's called...
That is so specific. That is so specific. It's talking about trying new things. Pineapples on pizza.
I had that in high school.
No, you did.
Yes, I did. No, you did. I didn't know you in high school. I did.
No, what was the pizza that you never had till I let? There's like 100 things in there's like 100 things in the try first try first bucket.
Pineapple and ham pizza in high school, baby.
All right, fine.
But I haven't tried many new things.
Cue the music as we're just arguing about what things that she's tried before. She's never tried.
I would just
sushi.
Say, okay, that's one.
Sushi's one. Oh,
I mean, there's been a whole
Boston
lot.
Market.
That's not even. That's not even.
You have the Boston Market in Waldorf, and you never went there before. You met me.
That's true. Anyhow,
that Boston Market is probably as old as you are, and you never went there.
That Joy is not as old as me. But as you can see, well, you can't see us yet because we're still not ready to do video podcast. You call it video podcasting, video casting,
video
live.
Podcasting,
anyhow,
vlogging. Is that vlogging?
People still say
video.
Okay,
is
with
that
that
video blogging? Is that what that is? I don't know that people say anything. I don't care about the people. I just say what I want to say.
We're still not at the point that we're ready, I guess, to do, film recordings of
I gotta get a haircut first, dog. I can't be on video. I gotta get a haircut first. And brothers, y'all know what I mean by that, man. You can't just be out there if you ain't got a fade, man. Come on, man. I'm too old for that. I'm grown. I'm a grown up. If I was like in my 20s, it'd be excusable for me to be scruffy. I'm scruffy right now. That's why we're not doing the video. That's not why we're. That's
we'll
not.
Get there eventually.
That is not why we're not doing the video. I'm playing with y'all. Yeah. Go ahead.
But I've learned more than 5, 6, and 7 things from you, and so when you had this idea of write down the 5 things we've gotten from each other. It was easy because I had so many, but it was also hard to narrow it down. So I'm really glad that we had a chance to learn some new things from each other. Some things I already knew. There were some things that I learned just now. And so for everyone listening out there, hopefully what you've heard from either Jason or myself or us both can help to inspire you in your friendship, marriage, relationship, or maybe even at work, or just any kind of interaction you have, and just to be the best you. Hey.
To be the best you do have to, you have to try to open up and learn from your experiences. And so that would be what we would probably say to sum this whole thing up is, the people that you interact with, take something from them. Take something from your day-to-day experiences. Try to learn something. Try to pick something up. And you'd be surprised what later on in life was really important to you. So thanks for coming along this ride with us today. I know we were on a lot of tangents.
Yes, it was a bit of a long one.
We did not take the direct route today. No, ma'am. We took the curvy, windy road. And it was a lot of fun. It was an eye-opener. It was definitely an important conversation. And I appreciate all of y'all being here with us for that. So thank you again. You can subscribe. You should subscribe. You should be subscribed by now. If you're not subscribed, I'm going to suggest that you subscribe. I'm just going to keep saying subscribe until you subscribe.
Subscribe.
So just go on and subscribe. Oh, go ahead and hit the like button. I like likes.
And give us a rating and review. But I do want to give us. Not give us. No, I
give us? You want to give us a shout out? Because you can give us a shout out before you give a shout out to whoever you finna give a shout out to. Finna.
It's not even a person. But
finna.
So I think it was either in our preview episode or episode 1 that I was saying to you that we're taking this podcast worldwide. And so I definitely want to thank our listeners in Costa Rica and in Germany. I don't know any one of those countries, but thank y'all for checking us out, passing the word. Follow us at Linguistics Show. Check out the website to learn more about us, linguisticsshow.com.
Like, subscribe, all that. All those things. I need all the things. Don't just sit there.
And on that note,
like and subscribe. Like I said, that's the note. That's the note. That's the note. Okay. Like and subscribe. Listen to the next one. We got more hotness coming. More of this foolishness. I know y'all want to hear this, man. It's hilarious. Yeah. But anyway, please like and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. So
take care and enjoy the ride. I took his tagline because I got it from him.
Yeah, that's another thing on the list of things she done took from me. She done got it from me.
I'm not going to use it anymore because it is your signature line.
You use it if you want to. Just give me like $20 every time. We be straight.
I'll give you $20 a different way. Bye, everybody.
Like NSFW. That was not suitable for work. That was not suitable for work. If you enjoyed this, like, comment,
subscribe, and share to the Linguistic Show.
This has been an Ashangali Enterprises production.
Co-produced by Naomi. Music by Brassville.